Hello and welcome to the VNN guide in creating a new article. First thing we're going to want to do once we have a web browser open is go to your VNN website. For testing purposes, we're going to go to what's called our playground. Once we've reached that, we can go ahead and we can log in. Now at the bottom of every page on your VNN website, you'll have the login center. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my username and password and log in. Most modern web browsers are going to ask you if you want to remember your password. I'd recommend skipping that, especially in cases where you may have other people that have access to this machine. That way it keeps the content so people can't put their name on your articles and vice versa. It just keeps the integrity on the articles. So I'm going to go ahead and skip remembering my password. And now that it shows I'm logged in, we have the option to log out, view your profile, create a new article, create a new page. Now with today's guide, with one click, I'll click on New Article, and it takes me straight to the article editor. On future VNN guides, I'm going to go through what the toolbar means, what you can do with that, what every section of the article editor includes in detail. But for today, what we're going to do is we're going to create a quick article, we're going to assign it some tags and a category, and we're going to give it a featured photo. So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a title. Then we're going to type a few sentences. Now, once we're completed with the article, we can go ahead and assign it to a category. This is very important because this is how it groups all of your articles. On the front end, I'll show you after we're done completing this article, I'll show you how it groups everything into news categories. So let's say this article is about boys basketball news. You can also have it about multiple sports. In that case, you can select as many sports as you want that are in the news category that's related to the article itself. But it's important to keep the data relevant just so it's easier to organize everything on the front end of the website. You're going to hear us talk about front end and back end quite often in these videos. Front end is what everybody sees on the front end of the website. The back end is what we see when we're logged in, when we're creating articles, when we're editing pages. That's the difference between the front and the back end. So I went ahead, I assigned it a category. I'm going to go ahead and assign it some tags now. Now categories and tags are similar, but tags are more in depth, they're more detail oriented. So for example, we have John Doe in here scoring 23 points. We might want to tag that. We can also include the basic tags as well. We know it's about boys basketball, it's a winter sport. We can even include that it happened in the month of December. You can put as many things in here that are relevant to the story and that you think will help people find more and more articles throughout the site. We'll look at this in the front end as well after we're done to show how tags are important. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add. So now we have a title, we have a story, we have a category, and we have tags. One important thing to remember is nothing is ever set in stone. Even after the article is published, you can go ahead and change the title. You can go back in and you can change the content. You can change the category. You can even delete the featured photo and put a new photo in there. So for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to upload a featured photo. You can see in the VNN featured photo and video settings fields, we have the ability to insert a featured photo or embed a featured video. In the guide today, we're just going to embed a featured photo. So I'm going to click on the upload button. And it automatically selects from my computer. From there, I can select the Select Files button, and it takes me to search for that file on my computer. One bit of advice is with featured photos, or with any photos that you'd be assigning with the article, go ahead and do that before you write it, so you have that ready to go to insert into the article. I've done that, and I've called it Showcase Photo, and I know I saved it to the VNN Playbook folder. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on that, and it automatically begins the upload process. You're going to see certain attributes here like alignment and size and caption. These items will be very important when embedding photos throughout the article, in the middle of it, at the end of it, inserting galleries. Again, we'll go through that more in depth on future VNN guides. For right now, this is just our featured photo. And the nice thing about the Varsity News Network software is it sets everything for you automatically. So all we have to do is just click on Insert in Article. It's going to populate the field here, and it's going to show you a little thumbnail. So now we have everything that we want for our basic article. I'm going to go ahead and click Publish. Authors will only have the ability to save drafts. Editors can save drafts and publish. For those authors out there, when you're done, you're going to click Save Draft. You're going to let your editor know that it's ready to go. They'll review it and they'll publish it. So in this case, what we're going to do is publish it. And there we go. One thing you notice now is we have a view. So we can go ahead and preview this and see how it's going to look like on the site without leaving our view. It's going to open up a new tab for us, but it still keeps our editor open, so if we want to go back and make some quick corrections. So let's go to the tab with the article. So we see now what happened with the front end. It assigned a featured photo, put it right up top for us, gave it a good ratio so it fills out the article. We got our title, we have our author name, we have the date, and then we have our content. Like tags and categories, which we'll go into in a moment, if you clicked on the author name, it's a hyperlink to a page that shows every article that's done by that author. Nice little way of grouping things. If we scroll down the page a little bit, remember our tags. They show up at the bottom of every article. Let's say we clicked on John Doe. What it's going to do is it's going to take us to a tag archive of John Doe. So if there were other articles out there that were tagged with John Doe, they'd all show up under here, which is a great way of getting people to look at related articles, to group everything together for people of similar interests. And in terms of categories, we grouped this and tagged it into the boys basketball category. So we can go under winter season, boys basketball, and we see the boys basketball news link. If we clicked on that, it would take us to a page similar to the archives of tags, but they'd be archives of categories, which group everything that we've categorized that article with. So now that we have our article, let's see what it looks like on the very front page of the website. The newest articles show up at the top. We have our showcase for showcase articles. We're going to go through that in just a moment. And then we have the newest to oldest articles show up in the loop here. This was the article we just completed. Now let's say we want to go one step further and we want our latest article to show up in the featured VNN showcase. What we can do is go back into our editor, go to tags, and simply type in the word showcase. Click on add, and then we'll go ahead and update the article. We'll go back to the front page, and we're going to go ahead and refresh it. And you'll notice our latest article that we just created shows up in the showcase. The 3 latest showcase items will show up in the slider. The oldest one will then drop down into the loop after you've populated this with 3 showcase items. They're on an automatic scroller as well to change every few seconds. Well, there you have it. This concludes our VNN guide on creating an article. Be sure to check out other VNN guides that get more in depth on the aspects of creating an article as well as everything else for your VNN website. Thanks for watching.